When celebrity status meets questionable business practices, you get scandals so disturbing they make Gordon Ramsay's kitchen meltdowns look like peaceful meditation sessions. Prepare yourself, because what you're about to discover will make you question whether that celebrity chef's smile is genuine or just a carefully crafted mask hiding a trail of legal disasters. Number 11. Chef Big Shake's Wells Fargo discrimination nightmare. Sean Davis, known as Chef Big Shake after his 2011 Shark Tank appearance, walked into a Wells Fargo branch in Henderson, Nevada, with a $20,403 U.S. Treasury check from the IRS and was accused of fraud. Business advisor David Para spent 30 minutes reviewing Davis's documents, disappeared for 15 minutes, then returned, declaring the check fake without requesting any verification. Branch manager Georgia Bell claimed she'd confirmed it was fraudulent through a special backline to the IRS, except Wells Fargo has no direct line to the IRS. Davis was ordered to leave in front of other customers. He drove down the block and broke down in tears. When he returned to Tampa, he deposited the same check at a Wells Fargo branch there with zero issues. The successful entrepreneur who's appeared on Rachel Ray, Man vs. Food, and CNN filed a lawsuit seeking at least $50,000 for racial discrimination, defamation, and emotional distress. Number 10. Vegan chef Matthew Kenny's 30-year fraud pattern. New York Times and Los Angeles Times investigations exposed Matthew Kenny's disturbing 30-year pattern that left burned investors and bounced paychecks everywhere. More than 60 former employees and investors described reckless management, where businesses opened to positive press, then quickly closed amid lawsuits and unpaid bills. Workers literally raced to the bank to cash paychecks before the money ran out. Meanwhile, Kenny maintained a $20,000 a month rental house paid for by his companies while using restaurant money for his own rent, pool cleaning, and dental work. He's been named in dozens of lawsuits across 9 states and owes $1.2 million in back taxes in New York alone. A former black executive claimed he was subjected to the N-word and a work environment permeated with racist terms. Despite this trail of destruction, Kenny continues launching ventures by preying on investors' commitment to veganism. Number 9. Justin Sutherland's felony domestic violence conviction. Justin Sutherland earned fame winning Iron Chef America and competing on Top Chef, but stood convicted of felony domestic threat of violence in a Ramsey County courthouse. The chef admitted the stress of celebrity status, COVID challenges, and alcohol abuse led to an alcohol-fueled argument with his fiancée. Though initially accused of pointing a gun at her, he denied that detail and pleaded guilty to threat of violence. His fiancée testified on his behalf, calling it isolated, but the court sentenced him to 60 days on electronic home monitoring and 2 years probation with no gun possession. The now sober chef says he hopes to help others in the restaurant industry struggling with alcohol and depression. Number 8. Mario Batali's sexual assault acquittal. In 2017, 4 women accused Mario Batali of inappropriate touching during the Me Too movement, seemingly ending his career. Natalie Tenney claimed Batali groped her during a 2017 selfie session, leading to criminal charges. The case went to a bench trial rather than jury trial, a strategic defense move since juries might have emotional reactions following the Harvey Weinstein trial. The judge found Batali not guilty, citing credibility issues with the accuser and insufficient evidence. His restaurant group had already cut ties in 2018. Legal experts noted that while the criminal case ended in acquittal, a civil case could proceed differently with lower burden of proof. Number 7. Maria Loy's salmon and scallop menu fraud. Maria Loy is the official Greek ambassador for Greek cuisine. A celebrity chef who cooked for Obama at the White House in 2012, has written over 30 books and was featured in the 2004 Olympics in Athens. She runs a high-end Greek Mediterranean restaurant in Manhattan and has product lines of cooking utensils. But food fraud investigator chef Marcus Giuliano exposed Loy for systematically misleading customers with fraudulent menu descriptions that exploit the fact that the average consumer doesn't know. The first fraud involves wild Atlantic salmon listed on Loewe's menu. Here's the problem. Wild Atlantic salmon populations are so sparse that it's illegal to catch and serve them commercially. There might be one stream in Ireland with a small fishing quota, but that fish would cost $50 per pound for the whole fish, far more expensive than prized Copper River or Yukon River salmon from the Pacific. Nobody would realistically import and serve this at normal restaurant prices. When Giuliano confronted Loewe about this years ago, she insisted she served delicious wild Atlantic salmon every day, and refused to understand that what she was serving was farmed salmon fraudulently described as wild. Number 6. Chloe Coscarelli's legal battle over her vegan restaurant. After winning Food Network's Cupcake Wars in 2010, Chloe Coscarelli launched By Chloe, a vegan restaurant. In 2017, E-Squared Hospitality purchased her 50% ownership for $0, literally nothing. An arbitrator reinstated her ownership and awarded her $2.3 million in attorney fees. She then sued law firm Pryor Cashman for $150 million, alleging they acted in bad faith and breached fiduciary duty. The judge dismissed her lawsuit, ruling that law firms are immunized from liability for advice given in good faith, stating that finding otherwise would have a catastrophic chilling effect on the legal profession. While Coscarelli won back ownership and millions, her attempt to hold the law firm accountable failed completely. Number 5. Guy Fieri's homophobic and racist comments. In 2011, former producer David Page exposed Guy Fieri's homophobic and racist comments, alleging the diners, drive-ins, and dives star felt uncomfortable around gay people and harbored anti-Semitic sentiments. According to Page, Fieri said, "Those people weird him out" when referring to gay individuals. Page also claimed Fieri was extremely crude and sexually inappropriate around women. These allegations threatened to destroy the brand Fieri built as America's fun-loving food personality. While his career survived, he continues hosting multiple Food Network shows. The accusations exposed a troubling disconnect between his public persona and private behavior. Number 4. Paula Deen's racism scandal. In 2012, a former employee sued Paula Deen, alleging sexual harassment and racist rhetoric. During deposition, Deen admitted using the N-word, and her company released a statement defending her use of the racial slur. She lost her Food Network contract and endorsement deals as brands fled the controversy. What made it worse was the lack of genuine accountability. Her tearful appearances seemed focused on salvaging her brand, rather than addressing the hurt she caused. The lawsuit exposed discrimination and harassment at her restaurant, creating a hostile environment for employees. While she eventually settled and attempted comebacks, the scandal permanently tarnished her reputation. Number 3. Rachel Ray's Nutrish dog food lawsuits. Rachel Ray partnered with Ainsworth Pet Nutrition in 2008 to launch Nutrish, a line of pet food marketed as natural and premium. 10 years later, New York dog owner Markeith Parks sued Ray and Nutrish for $5 million, claiming the brand's super premium dog food line contained trace amounts of glyphosate, an unnatural herbicide. Parks argued that Nutrish made false, deceptive, and misleading claims while promoting the product because no reasonable consumer would expect this controversial and potentially harmful synthetic chemical to be present in natural dog food. Ray's representatives defended Nutrish by emphasizing that both Ainsworth Pet Nutrition and later the J.M. Smucker Company took great lengths to create and provide the highest quality and safest pet food products on the market. They insisted this was why Ray continued feeding Nutrish to her own dog, Isabu, and her extended pet family. The case was ultimately dismissed in 2021, seemingly vindicating the celebrity chef and her pet food brand. But the legal troubles weren't over. In March 2025, a new plaintiff filed a class action lawsuit after Post-Consumer Brands acquired Ray's Nutrish dog food brand in February 2023. This lawsuit accused the company of falsely advertising the Rachel Ray pet food products as containing no artificial preservatives when they actually contain artificially produced citric acid. The case remains ongoing, suggesting that questions about Nutrish's marketing practices and ingredient transparency continue to haunt Ray's pet food empire despite her insistence that she personally feeds these products to her own animals. Number 2. Jeffrey Zakarian's bankruptcy after wage theft. Jeffrey Zakarian built his reputation as a respected chopped judge and successful restaurateur, but kitchen workers at his now closed country restaurant in New York revealed a different side of the celebrity chef. Staff members sued Zakarian for $1 million, alleging a disturbing list of labor violations that included not paying overtime, falsifying pay records, and even docking paychecks for meals that employees never actually ate. The accusations painted a picture of systematic wage theft that exploited the very workers who made Zakarian's restaurant successful. Rather than settling the lawsuit or fighting the charges, Zakarian filed for bankruptcy in 2011, claiming he couldn't afford to defend himself against the allegations. This move was particularly galling because Zakarian was simultaneously maintaining his high-profile television career and opening new restaurant ventures. The bankruptcy filing suggested either catastrophic financial mismanagement or a strategic attempt to avoid accountability for labor law violations by claiming poverty while continuing to live a celebrity lifestyle. The case highlights a disturbing pattern in the restaurant industry where celebrity chefs build empires on the backs of underpaid, overworked staff members who lack the resources to fight back. Zakarian's workers spent years creating the food and service that built his reputation, only to have their wages stolen through various schemes involving overtime violations and fraudulent deductions. The bankruptcy filing added insult to injury, denying workers the compensation they deserved, while Zakarian continued appearing on television and opening new restaurants as if nothing had happened. Number 1. Graham Elliott's tip skimming scandal. Graham Elliott, the former Iron Chef contestant and judge on MasterChef, faced serious allegations from 14 former servers at his eponymous Chicago restaurant who claimed he systematically mishandled their tips. The lawsuit revealed a tip pooling scheme where servers' tips were redistributed among food runners, bartenders, bussers, and cooks, which might be a fairly normal practice. The illegal part? Servers were only paid less than minimum wage, which is only legal if your income is actually based on tips, not if the tips are being redistributed away from you. The scheme essentially allowed Elliott to subsidize kitchen staff wages using money that belonged to servers, forcing front-of-house workers to survive on sub-minimum wages, while their tip money enriched other employees and reduced Elliott's labor costs. Additional allegations surfaced claiming staff members weren't being compensated for overtime, compounding the wage theft with additional labor law violations. The lawsuit exposed how celebrity chefs can exploit complicated tip pooling arrangements to essentially steal from their employees while maintaining plausible deniability. According to Grub Street, Elliott settled the case in court, rather than fighting the charges or allowing the case to proceed to trial. The settlement terms weren't publicly disclosed, but the decision to settle suggests the allegations had sufficient merit that Elliott preferred paying off the workers, rather than having a judge or jury examine his restaurant's labor practices in detail. The scandal demonstrated that even acclaimed chefs with national television recognition aren't above exploiting the power imbalance between wealthy restaurant owners and vulnerable service workers who depend on tips for survival. Which scandal shocked you most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and subscribe for more proof that even the culinary world's biggest stars can serve up fraud alongside their signature recipes.